With its final season airing, we now have 3 seasons of What If, so today I thought it was time for me to stop and rank all 3 seasons of What If. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My name is SDubNation, and you are free to comment down below your very own ranking of all 3 seasons of What If, ranked from the worst to the best just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter and that TikTok link. Those are in the description, along with those other What If reviews. Those links are in the description as well. And without further ado, follow me into the multiverse and ponder the question, what if? Kicking off our list at number 3 is Season 3. I didn't have an enjoyable time watching this season. There weren't many interesting episodes this year, and maybe that's because of the fact that many of the episodes that they wanted to make were based off of films or series that had not been released yet, such as Sam leading a team in animation first, or seeing the villain of The Hood, who was originally supposed to be an Ironheart first. The finale didn't make it any better either by creating a 2-episode arc where Captain Carter becomes a Watcher and saves the Watcher. Like, I have no issues with Captain Carter. She worked so well for the first season, and she's kind of the face of this series. She is probably the first concept that they thought of for this show. But when it comes to the idea that Captain Carter is just defeating Kangs with Storm and 2 original characters, that just made no sense to me. Especially because one of the original characters, Kahori, isn't a well-known character. She's not a well-liked character either. And Birdie is definitely not a well-known character because she's the spawn of Howard the Duck and Darcy, a throwaway filler episode inside of the season. In fact, all of the episodes inside of the season are just filler, in my opinion. They just go nowhere. So when the finale happened, it was a very lackluster finale. And to have the Watcher defeat his co-workers with 2 original characters, one of which we just met, Storm and Captain Carter, it just became just bland to me. They also tried to make a case to say that the Watcher was the main character of the entire show, but it was mainly all payoff without a foundational setup. By the end of the series, it felt like all the air was let out of the bag, including its novelty. It also felt like a slap in the face to show all the possibilities that they could have done, but instead, they did Howard the Duck and Darcy having a child. Just plain weird. By this point, all of the imagination has been sucked out of this show. Number 2 is Season 2. I had an enjoyable time with this season. We had a lot more great, interesting what-ifs than Season 3, rather than the bad ones. But the issue here is that it didn't evolve. The show was never meant to be more than okay or just plain Elseworlds fun, and that's what I got from this season. Once you start introducing original characters with non-interesting stories, that's when I tap out. I think the Kahori episode isn't bad, it's just very underwhelming, because they make her into this main character of the season, but her episode just didn't get me more excited for her character. They re-recruit Peggy to stop Doctor Strange from stealing Kahori's powers, but why? I feel like that wasn't a problem. It was just the fact that we made her one of the most powerful characters in the MCU that can stop Doctor Strange, and Peggy's just able to harness the Infinity Stones. Once you get to that point, it becomes bad fan fiction. This is the season where I enjoyed individual episodes rather than the whole, because it never went anywhere. I would say the medieval episode is one of the best of the series, though, because this is exactly what I wanted from the show. The MCU cast as different variants of themselves in a huge epic story like this medieval episode. Everyone has a role to play. Everyone are in different type of roles inside of this, like Thor being the king or Scarlet Witch being the witch. Like, it's very in line with their MCU characters, but just with a medieval skin on it. All of it worked for me. And then we moved into Kahori and Peggy Carter versus Doctor Strange. And they win. Just weird. But coming in at my number 1 has got to go to Season 1. Of course, the first time we see this show is going to be the best, because they gave us all of the best in this season, with some few blunders here and there, but overall, this season was fun enough. It was enjoyable. You get exactly what you came to a What If show for, the Elseworlds story. And the neat thing that they do here is that they combine all of these characters into their own Avengers-style team-up with the Guardians of the Multiverse. The initial novelty of hearing the different MCU voice actors worked for me, and the fact that the overall theme here is that if the MCU turned out like any of these timelines, the world is doomed. But like, every other timeline in this season has the Avengers dying, and it makes a nice case for why we don't see Elseworld stories in the MCU. Because the Sacred Timeline is the best possible timeline. Relating back to Avengers Infinity War, with Doctor Strange saying that out of 14 million possibilities, they only win one, it's because of this season that I believe him. You have some tragic stories in there like Ultron or the Doctor Strange episodes, but you also have some fun stories like T'Challa or Thor, but also some very interesting concepts like what if Hank Pym killed all the Avengers before they could assemble. I loved all of that. All in all, you get everything you want from this season, and before the novelty ran off, I was all into this series. This is why What If Season 1 has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that is it for the ranking. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list, it was just my list. And you're free to comment down below your very own ranking of all 3 seasons of What If, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me. Or you could just do your favorite. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter and that TikTok link. Those are in the description along with those various What If reviews. Those links are in the description as well. Please don't forget to check out that Marvel playlist. That link is also in the description as well. With all that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the last video that you're watching for me of this year. Happy New Year, everyone. And I will see you all next time. Peace.